We have some massive stories to get through tonight, my friends, as Operation Osimhen officially begins. In today's video, I'll be discussing the latest on Osimhen, Joao Felix, and a lot more. So I hope you guys enjoy the video today. Apologies for the delayed uploads. I've had so many things to do today, plus a ton of technical difficulties, and I wanted to try out a few different things, and I thought, you know what, I've got 4K equipment, yet I've never actually tried to record in 4K. So if you guys want to keep seeing more 4K Nini, let me know in the comment section, hit that like button, and let's get straight into things. Let's start things with some positive news that got confirmed today, as Cole Palmer has officially signed a 2-year contract extension. Now, if you didn't believe that he was committing himself to this football club, best believe it now, yeah, because I think it's kind of funny that for him to earn a pay rise, he must also earn an additional 2 years after he only signed like a 7-year deal last year. But listen, if Cole Palmer's gonna sign his soul to this football club, I'm fully here for it. And I actually think it's just rewards because, as we know, the club are putting out incentivized related contracts. If you perform, if you play well, you will earn more money. And as confirmed by Matt Law, it does seem like with Cole Palmer's extension, he is set to earn closer to figures believed to be around Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo levels. Now, both these guys aren't earning over 200,000 a week, not yet. So I think it's more than fair for Cole Palmer to be on parity with players like this, as essentially he was our whole team. Last season was absolutely unreal for Cole Palmer, and naturally after the breakout season he had, where it feels like he's on the verge of maybe becoming a bit of a superstar. Everyone's doing the Cole Palmer celebration. He's made that synonymous. He's invented a celebration that the masses have happily swallowed up. And based on the incredible season he's had, he's rightfully been nominated for both the PFA Player of the Year and PFA Young Player of the Year awards. For myself, yeah, I think he's guaranteed to earn PFA Young Player of the Year because he was the best young player last season. Absolutely unreal season. And what can I say? I feel very proud that this guy's representing my football club, and I'm really excited to see the continued development of Cole Palmer. Now, for all you FIFA fans and FIFA nerds, Cole Palmer's official match rating has been released. A massive rise from 67 rated to 84 rated. And in my opinion, he could easily have been 85 or 86. So my friends, that is everything Cole Palmer today. Share your thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about this news? Let us know below. And now, my friends, let's discuss all things Operation Osimhen. We are getting some massive reports coming out from Damasio, plus a ton of Italian media as well. And it seems like finally, this story is coming to life, and there is something here that can happen. Now, we start with Damasio first, and he confirms the fact that Napoli sporting director Romana is currently in London as we speak right now to negotiate for Lukaku. Antonio Conte has said since day one, Lukaku is his number one. That is his guy. He needs him as his striker this season, and he's a bit upset at the fact that Lukaku has not been signed in time to really take significant part in Napoli pre-seasons. Whilst their sporting director's there though, we've now decided to make an offensive move now to sign Osimhen and rekindle our interest. Now, currently, Victor has only been training at Napoli. He didn't take part in their Coppa Italia game against Modena. It makes a lot of sense. You're not going to risk getting any potential injuries when Napoli are desperate to sell you. Napoli must sell you. I keep stressing the fact that they can't afford his wages long term. Right now, all their hopes and dreams for Osimhen are falling down the drain. They're in the bin right now. They hoped the club would pay his full 130 million release clause. That wasn't going to happen. They've since dropped his value down to 100 million euros, and still, no clubs have taken the bait. Napoli must find solutions before this month ends, and I guess the positive for us is that Victor has given us the green light now to find a negotiation to seal the deal so he can sign for us. He wants to come here, and as I keep stressing, we can't forget the full charm offences of Drogba, Mikel. We have been stressing that Osimhen is that guy to take this club back to the levels we have to be on. Now, for me to quickly say this, I think one of the main reasons as to why we've I wouldn't even say changed our opinion on Osimhen. I've been saying this since before the window started. it makes sense for us to really delay things as much as possible because everyone knew, all of us as well, that no club was going to activate that full release clause. With time working against Napoli, they'd have to strike more favourable terms now. And this is the peak time, the peak moment to make your move and try to sign Osimhen on the best possible terms. Now, the big thing holding this deal up is that Victor has said two things. Number one, I am not keen on signing on loan first. I don't want my career, my future to be up in the air. I don't want to go back to Napoli. Wherever I'm signing for, I'm remaining there. And I think that's more than fair. And the second thing is, he won't be taking any pay cuts whatsoever. And I agree with that. If you want to sign one of the top forwards in Europe, top forwards come with top prices and top wages. So it's a good sign of commitment and faith in Victor when you're open to match his wages and keep them the same. We must do that, in my opinion. Now, this is where things get kind of interesting right now because Sky Italia report that we would be open to potentially offering Lukaku plus a large amount of money to get this operation completed. But if that amount of money does not satisfy Napoli, we would still be open to a possible loan, but this time the loan would include obligations to buy once certain clauses had been activated. Now, that could be hypothetically things like our league position. That could be the amount of games and minutes that Osimhen has accumulated. There would have to be easily achievable metrics that would guarantee Victor remaining here and signing on a permanent deal. We've done similar things with Esteval Willian. In his clause, as long as he plays over 70 games over an amount of time, they will be entitled to more money on top of that deal. So right now we cross our fingers and we hope something happens. Now, are we going to accept Napoli's 25 million plus 5 million euro offer for Lukaku? Probably not, because that's 30 million euros short of the 43 million euros we want for his sale. Napoli, I'm sure, want something closer to the 100 million euro valuation they've put on Victor, and that's around, I think, like 85 million pounds. So far you're looking at offers of 25 million, 85 million. Could we possibly strike a deal where we're offering Lukaku plus maybe 60 million, 65 million to complete the Osimhen move? So that's that, my friends. We are hoping to sign Osimhen on a deal most likely that involves Lukaku plus money. Maresca is giving the okay. When reports capped that Maresca was against a profile like Osimhen, it didn't make any sense for me because we've only been targeting profiles like this all window. So fingers crossed, is Osimhen the striker that we need? Are you still a bit apprehensive at the efforts we're making for him? Let us know where you feel on things and comment below. And now for the final story, my friends, we discuss all things Joao Felix and Gallagher because things have taken a bit of a darker twist at this point in time. As we know today, Jorge Mendes is currently in England. He has been holding conversations with Man United over the future of Manuel Ugarte, and at the same time, he is negotiating with us to try and reach terms for Joao Felix. I guess to start with things, we have to move on to Gallagher because, as we all know right now, Gallagher has returned back to London. This was on the advice of both clubs, Atleti and Chelsea. Atleti sympathised with the player being holed up in a hotel for 5 days, and of course his prep for the season is getting affected by this. His future's up in the air. It's not the best situation to be in professionally, right? And at the same time, the club have also encouraged Gallagher to come back after giving Atletico Madrid some time today to complete the move. I mean, Gallagher's already completed his medical. He's already agreed terms. He just had to sign the contract. It was only up for Atletico Madrid technically to just let this deal continue and sign their man. And a part of me thinks this was the negotiation ploy we had hoped for, but Atleti have not taken the bait. So this means that Connor's come back, and now both clubs will treat this negotiation separately involving Joao Felix and Gallagher. We see if deals can be struck. Now, I mentioned the fact that these whole negotiations could simply be like a pressure tactic to get Atleti to part with their money to sign their man. However, maybe Atletico Madrid are also playing the same game because, as reported by Relevo, surprisingly, Atletico Madrid had been in contact with N'Golo Kante and his brother, who acts on behalf of Kante, to find out whether Kante would be open to moving to Atletico Madrid. And Kante and his brother said yes, they would be open. Now, what works out for Atleti is that currently his market value is around 9 million, which means that completing an operation wouldn't cost much money whatsoever, and Kansé has said he would be open to taking a massive wage reduction, of course, to sign for Atletico Madrid. Now, Atleti could simply be seeing Kansé as an additional purchase alongside Conor Gallagher, or they may decide to themselves, you know what, forget Conor, forget Chelsea, we're sick and tired of how they've been moving recently. We're gonna put our eggs in this Kansé basket because our main priority is signing a left-footed centre-back. And right now, they're looking at Feyenoord's Hansko, and they're looking at Bayer Leverkusen's Nkamke as well too. So time will tell what happens with this story, but I guess to give us a bit of confidence at least, Al Ittihad have come out to state that they won't be accepting any offers from N'Golo Kante. They want to keep their star man, but money talks, players talk. Let's see what happens. Now let's turn our attentions back to Joao Felix because this story continues to take different twists and turns. Atleti have been reported to want around £50 million for the sale of Joao Felix. That's around 60 something plus million euros. Some reports state that they only want around 50 million euros, but I'm more inclined to believe it could be around £50 million, 60 million plus euros, and that's based on the fact that he's cost them an astronomical amount of money. Of course, for them just to break even in terms of his amortized value, his book value, I think Atleti would have to receive a minimum of around like 45 million euros just to record like a net positive on their books. So ideally, if they need to sell Joao Felix, they need to receive some pretty decent figures and numbers to make that sale happen. And this is where we get some interesting reports coming out from Portugal, because they mention the fact that we have made a proposal to Atleti. That proposal is 35 million upfront as a fixed fee with an additional 30 million euros that will be paid off in installments over time. That adds up to be around 65 million euros, and that is a lot closer to the 51 million pounds Atletico Madrid are hoping to get. But here's why I feel like this is where the negotiations will continue and this battle is not over just yet. And that's because we'll be seeing things like this here. Atletico Madrid, hold up right now. You've been trying to get rid of Felix for a long time. The whole world knows this. The whole angle behind this exit strategy was that if Felix found success out on loan, this could potentially raise his market value up to the point where he could be a player that could be sold for 100 million again. That has not been the case. He's had very mid-loan spells, his value has not gone up, and the player ideally still doesn't want to be there. This could be your final opportunity to earn big money for Felix, because realistically, after signing Julian Alvarez, after needing to address more key areas in your team, will you ever receive money like this again for Felix? Outside of us showing interest, it's only been Benfica and it's only been Aston Villa, and of course Felix isn't too keen on either club. So right now, time is also against you. But if you scratch our backs, we can scratch yours. If you can accept our payment package for Felix, of course you can complete the move for Conor Gallagher, and we can take this expensive headache off your minds. So that's everything we are learning surrounding this story right now, but just to keep things very clear for all of you in case you're confused, we hope to sign Felix on a permanent deal, which is kind of crazy. Of course, there's conversations around the fact that it's just the profile we need. If we have this type of money for Felix, why did we not invest that on Elise, or other players that could have really helped the team? I know there's so many conversations and questions around this story, but I'm sure we'll get through all of that as the days go on, because this story ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions as well too. I'm NiniFC, this is BlueLionsTV. See you all soon.